Okay. I had what I want. you gonna do that?
Yeah, this is.
I'm down for it.
Dark
hold on.
days.
No, that works. Yeah, let's see if you pick up what I'm putting down. We'll leave it. All right. Fire. People running through. The dungeon crawl exists. I don't know what's going on. Hello. It's been a long time. Far too long, in fact. We haven't spoken since I was a year younger. Even Ryan, it's been since we were 23 years old that we've done this podcast.
I know.
We've skipped an entire year of age.
Both
since
of
we've
us.
made our last episode. Both of us. You can see his hair has grown entirely unkempt. He hasn't cut it in the entire year.
I've been busy, man.
You've been busy. What have you been doing in this year where we've gained knowledge and experience?
Cutting up my hand. You see this?
Wow. Were you fighting in some battles?
So I had a mallet, as one does. I'm beating we'll say drum with it.
We'll say drum. What are you actually beating with it? What?
Okay, so for some context, it's Braxton's birthday today. My birthday was last week. So I know I had a busy week, and so my girlfriend and I decided to finally kind of celebrate my birthday this weekend. So we had D&D on Sunday, and before D&D, we decided, hey, let's go to this local arcade. There's usually not much going on in there. It could be kind of fun, just relax, hang out. Of course,
is it the beer arcade place?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Of course, we masked up and everything, and put on lots of hand sanitizer. But there's a certain game there. You get tickets. You can spend tickets to buy stuff.
Hold on. Are you telling me that you? Okay. All right.
Hang on. So there's a game there, and the premise of the said game is there's a piñata, okay, and you're supposed to beat the piñata senseless, open it, and then you move on to the next piñata. And the more piñatas you destroy, the more tickets you get. And so I'm like, easy. I'm buff. I'm strong. Let's give this a shot. So I walk up to the plate, grab this mallet, and it's basically rubber on the tip where you're supposed to slam into this kind of like this square contraption that just sits there.
Right.
And it's just wood underneath that, pure wood. Of course, it's cheap material because this is a small little arcade. And so I'm gripping it. And I have rings on too, on two of my fingers, and I'm slamming, hitting it hard. And you get 40 seconds, I believe, on this first one.
Wait, so you just need to hit it as much as you can?
Yeah, you're supposed to break it. You get 40 seconds.
Okay.
And I broke it. And I had like 20 seconds left. And I can feel the pain in my fingers. And so I'm like, oh, the ring's crushing my hand. So I quickly took the rings off in between piñatas, and I handed it to my girlfriend. And it's like, all right, I got this.
Pit stop.
Yeah, I took a breather. I kept going, and I didn't get through the next one, because this next one, of course, that's when they start getting to, you got to pay more to be able to beat through it. Whatever. I could feel the pain immediately after it happened. It's almost like if you guys have seen Whiplash, and the guy just keeps drumming like crazy, and then at the end, there's just like blood pouring down his fingers. That's basically how it was for me. I put the mallet down, and my thumb, the skin had just been destroyed clean off. This small little section on my thumb. There was blood on my knuckle here that was going down. And guess what? I got 12 tickets from the whole damn thing. It was ridiculous. So I went to go clean, I sanitized it like crazy, made sure it was, cleansed, and I went to the front desk and got 2 Band-Aids.
So was your blood on the mallet?
No, just on me.
And was it the rings that did it to you?
The ring definitely did it to my top one here. This one, there wasn't a ring there, and so that was just me hitting it so hard with the wood that I guess it just.
I would pay top dollar to watch a recording of that.
It was something else.
I cannot imagine how hard you were hitting this thing.
I was going to town. Dude.
Right. I didn't know you were so. I knew you played like Call of Duty tournaments on occasion. I didn't know you were that competitive at beating piñatas.
I wanted those tickets, man.
I don't think there was a single story I could have given that would have introed into this podcast better than. Wow. Well, congrats on that, on your 12 tickets. I don't know how much that is in the grand scheme of things. With the exchange rate's not good.
No. To put it into perspective, my girlfriend did another game, and you just kind of pull a doodad, and it lands on something, and she got 100 tickets for that. So for my blood, sweat, and tears, I got a total of 12 tickets.
Well, now this is a good allegory for the world itself. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can work as hard as you want, but if it's not the right way, if you're not thinking smart,
it's true.
It's not all about hard work.
Not about
for me. I don't
force.
have anything. I've got a more pathetic. Well, your story's not pathetic. I would say that's a valiant effort. Today on my birthday, we decided, because my friend's here who's never been to Chicago before, that we would take him to the lake that's just down over there. If you watch my stream, you've probably seen the window. It's a nice little pretty place to look out over. So we walk over there, and it's about 27 degrees outside, which isn't too cold, to be quite frank. It's nipply, but like I was able to have my jacket open and the undercoat I had on open and walk around.
Popping out.
Oh yeah, it's the most glorious. Not as cool as Ryan's raw testosterone being in this arcade game, but we're walking, and I've got long johns on as well as regular underwear and pants, so I'm covered. And after walking, I think it was for like an hour, if that. I don't know if it was because the air was humid or what happened. We get back, and I put my shorts on, and I look, and my legs are pink. And after a couple of minutes, they start to itch and burn. And I'm like, I got a very small degree of frostbite on the top of my legs.
Oh my God.
Not like literal frostbite. I don't know what the technical term for it, but just like a freeze burn.
Okay.
Wow. The analog to getting like a sun rash, like a very light suntan.
Like putting in the food into the freezer for too long, it gets a little freezer burn.
I'm telling you, man, again, if I was a D&D character, my constitution would be like -7 or 7.
Makes for an interesting character.
2. It does, but I would probably die in 2. Wouldn't I lose health off of my base die roll every time I leveled up?
They've ruled you can't do that, but in theory, yeah, if you didn't follow that rule, then yeah, you could.
Has that rule been that way the entire time?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, good. It's kind of funny. I'd probably go with it, but my God, it was so sad.
Well, eventually you die,
today's been my birthday. We're hanging out. We didn't die. I didn't die.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's been my birthday today, and you had your birthday. We built a PC for you, which was a good. What has happened this week,
recording on it right now,
listeners? It's a chonker, absolutely.
If anyone wants
We've been
to
playing some Doom.
Yeah, if anyone wants to see how that happened, you can go to twitch.tv/Nesukiru, Nesigiru.
You butchered that, but it's Nesugiru.
Oh, really?
There you go. It's okay. It's all good.
You can go to his Twitch, and we streamed myself struggling through it live.
Actually, it wasn't even a struggle. There was not a single issue that happened.
It was pretty,
my man plugged
impressive.
everything in the right spot.
Had a few hiccups here and there, but overall, not too bad.
Oh, I was watching Linus Tech Tips.
Nice, shout out.
Have your opinions of what you feel about him. But he was building a PC, and it was all focused on extremely, I guess, neat cable management, something that a certain company was doing to kind of expedite the cable management process. And he said the same thing I did. The most annoying part about building the PC is that small bottom right panel of pins that you have to plug in. It's so easy to mess. I was like, I wasn't wrong. I gave correct information.
We did have a few problems with that, yeah. But we
just
ended up
annoying.
getting it.
But what we did do, I suppose, in this year of knowledge that we've gained / this week that we turned a year older, is we ruminated on the other half of spells that we have yet to cover. Last week we talked about, well, I guess first off, he's Ryan.
He's Braxton.
There we go. This is the dungeon crawl. We're talking about the other half of spells that exist in D&D. Which ones? Keep going and you'll find out. We're starting with Evocation.
We talked about abjuration, conjuration, divination, enchantment last time. I feel like everyone should just have an ishin at the end.
Do they not?
No, I mean, enchantment didn't. Illusion doesn't. Necromancy.
Well, it's abjuration, shun, mint, shun, si, shun. Huh. Sounds like I was speaking some sort of awful second language here.
It's kind of cool.
You might need to do that for some of your verbal components for these spells, man. These are the spells that you're drawing out of the innate power within your body, these evocation spells.
Mm-hmm. These are the more, I mean, evocation is very much the, and I kind of said this last time, but this is the reason you become a wizard, right? This is the strong, fun fireball, fire bolts, all sorts of elemental-based magic. It's the stereotypical.
No. There's only one thing that matters in this entire spell list, Ryan.
What?
There's only one spell that matters in this entire spell list, and it's one of the first ones.
What is it?
Eldritch Blast, man. That's the only spell you need.
As a warlock, that is.
Nah.
This is, Evocation is I think it is the stereotypical wizard class.
It is. It's every single time when reading through this, I wanted to use a spell for my own character. It said, boop, wizard. How how wrong we were about wizards being able to cast every spell and not having any exclusives.
But when you think about a wizard, not even just in D&D context, this is what you're thinking of. The guy who's sitting around tossing, fire bolts or beams of arcane energy. There are many other schools. I would say probably no other schools that really has this amount of damaging spells, elemental based spells. There aren't very many. I was surprised. I didn't realize this. The Cure Wounds is considered an evocation spell.
I mean, I guess evoking, pulling, shooting out. I guess like you're drawing on your powers to bring out this holy light. I mean, if you were to try to put it into a different school, what would you say? I mean, there really isn't a rest. Yeah. I mean, I think a lot could be argued for transmutation because it's turning one thing into another, but I think that's specifically with maybe, I don't know, man.
There's some third-party spells.
Fantasy system.
Someone in one of our games has a similar kind of cure wound spell, but they are harming themselves to hurt to help others. It's a third-party spell, and it's...
Is that transmutation?
I'm not positive, but if I had to guess, I would think so.
We've been wrong before, so... Jumping into evocation, though, I mean, it's super straightforward. Your destruction spells from Skyrim, as we've learned with Restoration, it may not be exactly the case, but it's your iconic offensive spells: Magic Missile, Lightning Bolt, Fireball, and Eldritch Blast. I don't know why they don't have that in the tagline there.
I think this is definitely the school that has the most staples. The ones that everyone knows, the ones that you need to be getting if you're interested in this stuff. I mean, like you mentioned,
there's a ton of spells.
Firebolt, Burning Hands is in here. Magic Missile, Cure Wounds. If we're talking about, we've been talking about the best kind of cantrips to get. Firebolt for sure, I would grab. Thunderclap's kind of cool. You got the Dancing Lights. I don't think it gets enough.
I don't think it does either. Well, for me, in this case, especially if you are playing a warlock and you're not doing a Hexblade, getting Booming Blade with your Shillelagh, bonking your quarter staff or whatever you want to do, or Green Flame Blade, those are now officially in a source book. I believe, is it Tasha's that they got put in officially?
Yes. Yeah.
It did. Nice. And those are available for a wide range of classes as well. Ray of Frost has always been pretty spoopy too, but there's going to be a lot of staples in everything that we run through, as Ryan's already mentioned here, like just jumping into the first level. I mean, half of these I didn't know what these were at first, but ones that jump out to me is ones that are given to you as a certain race. Hellish Rebuke, if you've ever played a tiefling, one of the standard tieflings, you see that a lot. Yeah. You've got Magic Missile, or the more fancy one, Jim's Magic Missile.
Chromatic Orb too gets used a lot, at least in my game.
How do you feel about Witch Bolt?
Like, what do you mean? Like my opinions on it?
Yeah, I need to know.
I think it's okay. I don't think it's particularly strong.
At the level you get it, at least. True.
It's a concentration, which is a problem, but I guess it's a guaranteed hit if you connect with it.
The reason I took it, of course, again from the Warlock's perspective, is it's a way to cast a spell multiple times through one spell slot. Yeah. So I'm thinking my tactical Warlock spell choosing. It's something I've always liked, but I've noticed a lot of people don't.
There's better concentration things for you to be nabbing.
It makes me so sad. I thought I liked it. There's Fairy Fire.
I mean, you can still like it just because other people don't. Yeah, Fairy Fire.
Everybody has to like it, Fairy Fire is really cool.
I think Fairy Fire doesn't get enough love, dude. That is a very cool spell and can really change some fights.
It's so interesting to me, though, because Evocation really isn't just your standard destruction spell.
No.
Thing. It's so much more than that.
It kind of starts off as that, but then you look more deeper into it.
We got to look more deeper. As the wizard that you are, study these spells, put them in your book, figure out what they do, where their powers come from. There's a lot of stuff. I always love seeing the Unearthed Arcana ones that they have, but it's another healing spell, Hand of Radiance. And then getting kind of into the bigger ones, you can just tell this is the wizard class because you've got stuff like Agonazar's Scorcher. Only wizards name things and spells after themselves, which is what I do love about Evocation spells. A lot of these classes have their naming schemes too.
You got Snillock, Snowball Swarm. It's always a alliteration too.
Some bearded feller person in their tower was working on this spell for their entire life. And this is a Snilox, and it's a snowball storm, and I cast it, and he gave it to the world.
Well, a lot of these go back to the OG Gary Gygax's games. Really? Like Mordenkainen, I believe, was one of his players' characters or something like that. Like a lot of the old names that are in a lot of the spells are from his original groups of games.
That's so cute.
I know. They keep bringing it on, and I think some of them still play.
Wow.
I know.
No, I mean, even thinking about that, like, can you imagine making a D&D campaign? And again, this would have to be maybe a new tabletop RPG thing, and being like Gary Gygax, and your character, your OC, your embarrassing wish fulfillment RPG character is now a titular pillar or cornerstone of spells and of sources in D&D.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I kind of went on a rabbit hole. I don't know do you know the actor Joe Manganiello or Manganiello?
What anime have they been in?
He's not been in anime.
Sorry about that.
He's been a couple of big movies. He's a fairly well-known actor. But he loves D&D. He's been on Critical Role a few times, and he has a character called Archon that he plays in so many different games. And he was on Critical Role. And I'm not gonna spoil it because it happened near the end, so I don't want to people hate us forever. But he did some big event, like some huge thing, and that has now become canon in the D&D lore. This character is in what was the hell art? No, the hell book that they put out recently.
Is he a what's it called? A lich?
No. He's an NPC in Descent into Avernus. He shows up in there, and what he did in that Critical Role game bleeds over, and he has the items that he had then, and like he's now deeply ingrained inside of D&D, and it's just I cannot imagine, having your character be a part of the D&D universe now forever. I
mean, that's the goal, man, isn't it?
I know. It's crazy.
Gosh, I mean, every adventure seeks worldwide fame. At least the stereotypical one. And one way of doing that might be these evocation spells. You got to blow up some baddies or heal some people. That's so weird. Like, you've got Prayer of Healing here, too.
Right next to Melf's Minute Meteors.
Like, what's going on, man? I'm not a big fan of the second level ones, though. I got to be honest.
Really?
There's some decent. I mean, you've got Darkness. That's super titular there. A part of some very annoying builds of classes that can see through this magical darkness, but you know what? Screw your entire party. I'm the only one that needs to see here. Get the advantage. Could have done that myself, but wanted to avoid that.
Moonbeam is in here.
Yeah.
Moonbeam is a lot stronger than I initially thought it was until I had a player utilize it. And if you get it against something that's not too happy with radiant damage, that's a lot of damage each turn.
Wait a minute. How is our player casting this?
What, Moonbeam?
Yeah. Did they have a staff or a scroll?
No. He was a druid for a little bit, remember?
What?
What do you mean, what?
When
his character, for a little context, we had a player who was originally playing a cleric, and then he sent off his character and created a new character and was a druid. And then that character ended up dying, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, no. The character that got sent off, and sorry guys, but hasn't he cast this spell? Did we have a scroll or something?
No, he hasn't cast it as far as I'm aware. It's only been the druid character.
Huh. Okay. I thought you were. I was like, is he secretly a druid now? Nervous laughs. Secrets being revealed.
I didn't even think sending is in here. Sending is evocation? What? I
mean, evoke. The literal definition. What is evoke? Look up here. So to evoke is to bring or recall to the conscious mind, or invoke a spirit or deity.
I just would have considered it more of a divination. I guess you're not communing with anything, really. You're connecting with some other being.
Well, it's good that we're working through this, because other people are going to be like, I don't get it either. How are these spells in here? And I guess just in the simple idea of creating and manifesting something just from magic, not changing it from one to another like transmutation might be. So I guess that justification makes sense to me. I don't know.
It honestly seems like the catch-all. It's the catch-all school, though, where if something doesn't fit in another school, let's toss it in evocation.
This reminds me, Polygon's controversial. A lot of their articles are not super fun to read. Depending on who you are or what you do, it's okay. You can enjoy them, you can not enjoy them. Do you know David Brian Gilbert and the Unraveled series on YouTube, which just sadly came to an end as he moves on to bigger and greater things?
The name sounds familiar.
So he's done a lot of videos where he categorizes or may categorize as a part of the video random stuff. For example, Skyrim books or types of Fire Emblem character archetypes.
You might have talked about this recently, actually.
I probably talked about this recently. In Evocation spells, they went, okay, guys, we've categorized Necromancy, Transmutation, all of these things. We have a ton of spells left.
Yeah.
And I really don't feel like making 8th, 9th, and 10th category or schools of spells. How about we just all put them into one? Your damage spells, your fire spells, your lightning spells. Let's just put it together. That's what happened here. Melf's Minute Meteors.
Minute, but yeah. So that's Evocation, right? I mean, there's some cool ones in here, especially once you get to the really high levels. You got big old Meteor Swarm at 9th level.
Oh, yeah.
You got Ravenous Void, which is a Wild Mount spell. You got Maddening Darkness.
I mean, dude,
all these
it was
sound cool.
It was very chain lightning, dude. There's so many that pull in my Far Realms loving self. And it's such a painful experience, as I talked about last time, seeing the little mini wizard tag. And this makes me, Summer Sorcerer, which makes me really want to do that fancy new subclass that sorcerers have that they got in Tasha's.
Yeah,
ooh, man, that's some
Aberrant Mind.
spicy stuff. Aberrant Mind Sorcerer. Maybe
That's
one day.
Nice one. That's a nice one.
There's even some higher level evocation spells that can't even be stopped by a counter spell, which is cool. You got stuff like Dark Star.
It's a crazy one.
Excuse me. A lot of them are just big AoE spells that just disintegrate your existence as you are evaporated in space and time.
And that's what evocation wizards want to do at this level.
Well, I mean,
be doing
at this level, you can also do Power Word Heal or Mass Heal. That's half of the level 9 spells. You do a Ravenous Void, Meteor Swarm. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Very true.
If you're an evocation wizard, you're bringing out the Meteor Swarm, dude. That is 20d6 plus 20d6
You've got
fire
30
damage.
hit points at level 20, but you're a glass cannon.
Can you imagine rolling 20d6
I'd
plus
be
another
program for that.
20d6?
Yeah, let me ask you, are you the type of player that would roll that many physical die just because you've managed to reach your, this is what you deserve?
Yeah.
So you sit there and you roll them, you make sound effects, you're evoking
this
these
is a
dice.
9th level spell, dude. I am rolling every single one of those die.
I'd probably just use a program.
Well, you're
it's
warlock.
much
You're never
quicker.
gonna get that far anyway.
That's actually very true.
Illusions is next, man.
It is. What does an illusion spellcaster want to do?
Is you're manipulating the various scenes of people, creatures, objects. You're putting things in front of people that don't really exist.
Some of my favorite spells are from here, man.
Really? Okay.
Well, there's a couple of staples in the Tiefling Warlock twins that have been in here. But starting off, your one and only cantrip, Minor Illusion. Who doesn't know that cantrip?
That's it. I think people end up making it do more than it should be able to do. But I mean, it's
That's what D&D is.
whatever. Yeah, it's a cantrip. I have fun with it, man.
Yeah. Some weird ones that freak me out, like color spray. I don't know. I don't want to know what that is.
Yeah, what colors are they spraying, man?
I don't know. But there's Disguise Self, Illusory Script, Silence, some really, really utilitarian spells.
I tossed the staples, Invisibility. You got Minor Illusion, like you were saying. Mirror Image.
There you go.
That one's huge.
That's one of my absolute favorites.
Okay.
Yeah. You remember how much I
nice.
used that in our original campaign?
I do.
As somebody with a low AC, even though your duplicate does scale off of your own AC, it still really helps if you want to get in there.
From a good chunk of damage.
Oh, yeah. Now, people might say, hey, Braxton, just jump over to the evocation spells and cast an evocation spell and kill that guy before he gets to attack you.
It's one way
different
to think about
for
it.
different folks, It
Depends
on what you want to do.
You like playing with your food before you eat it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Braxton's
Shadowblade was
new
really
favorite
cool.
spell is in here. Dream.
I love that spell.
It's an illusion spell. I mean, it makes sense. You're creating things that aren't really in existence.
Absolutely. And we did think earlier, I think it was last episode, we were like, where the hell is Dream? Because we'd only prepped up to that point, at least, or I had only done that. In a lot of the naming sense, I want to touch on this again. Illusion spells are so like kind of spooky and fantastical.
Yeah.
All of the 5th level ones are like, is that really what you picked? But it's so fit. Creation, dream, mislead, seeming. Like, what are y'all doing?
Dude, seeming is such a cool spell.
It is,
allows
man.
you to change the appearance of a bunch of number of creatures that you can see. It's the sky itself, but better. You just walk on into a place. You could transform yourself to all look like guards. Boom, you fit in. Or you can blame an attack on some village and somebody else because you just walk in looking like somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
And exactly the way that evocation spells give you more dice and some more effects. These illusion spells and some of the other schools as well get more and more like fringe effects and uses, which to me is often more exciting.
Yeah, give you more options.
Like Illusory Dragon.
Yeah, that's a crazy spell. I also like hallucinatory terrain. You can make someone think there's a bunch of lava in front of you so they can't come to walk there. The possibilities of some of these spells are really endless. You have to look more than just the descriptors and think about how you can specifically use this as a role player in a combat to protect yourself, protect your parties. It's super cool. Weird. It's a weird spell.
Yeah, that's so funny. This is the you're gonna take a lot of spells from this if you tend to be more of a sly character or you're a player in a DM's world that is really RP focused.
Yeah,
these can be super, super useful for that. So definitely peruse through these. There's
a lot of bard spells fit in here.
Absolutely. And a lot of classes can just use these in general. And I think there's some Warlock subclasses that get access to these as well. One that I was interested in but have never actually used is Blur as well. Mostly just because it doesn't get added to a Warlock spell list unless I think you're a certain subclass or whatever. But I love ones that alter the ability to be hit or seen in a non-traditional way, not like invisibility or darkness. You know,
you have the ability to get this one, by the way.
I do. What is it from?
Hexblade.
That's what it is. Yeah, so exactly. That's what I've been thinking about it for a little bit, but we're getting to the point where I'm able to start casting spells, and I might start thinking about my Mystic Arcanum. You know, what do I want to put in there?
Right.
6th level spells are exciting, man. Start looking at those. Any other thoughts about illusions? Do you have any other favorites that you didn't mention?
Oh yeah, Mental Prison. I love Mental Prison. Just a fascinating concept to I mean, it's a 6th level spell for you, Braxton. You can put someone inside of like a prison that only they can see. And so everyone else just thinks this person's lost their damn mind because they're trying to break out of a cage that is not really there. Oh, it's beautiful.
My character is very interested in mind manipulation and poking around into people's brains and even Dream too. Whenever I think of the Dream spell, I just think of, it's not Spike, it's Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Dream. Do you remember that?
Brainstorm.
It's so good. There's a YouTube video that came out about.
They making another Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
It came out already.
What?
Yeah, the Lava Girl actually is not accredited on IMDb to a lot of films. One is the original Shark Boy and Lava Girl. There's a couple of other ones that are rated like 2 stars. Her best rated film is the new Shark Boy and Lava Girl with like 4-point-something stars. Apparently it's pretty okay. It's got a lot of cringy zoomer terms.
4 stars doesn't make a good film.
What does make a good film, Ryan? How many proverbial stars do you need?
You gotta get at least 7 and above, man.
That's not even on the scale, man. Out of 10, that's terrible.
What do you mean that's terrible? It's like a 70%.
No, I'm talking about on a 5-star scale.
Whoa. I didn't know we were talking about 5 stars.
Is that controversial? Is that not an allowed scale, a term?
Between you and me, I don't know about that one, but yeah.
No. You know what else I don't know about?
What?
I don't know about necromancy, man. That shit is sketch as hell.
What do you mean sketch as hell?
It's sketch as hell, man. You gonna bring people back to life? What are you gonna do with that? What kind of dastardly deeds are you getting up to?
It's not just that, man. I mean,
No. You've got inflict wounds, hurting people, ray of sickness.
This is the balance between life and death. You're manipulating the ebb and the flow.
decompose
different creatures.
Okay, well, wait, hold on. What's this? Spare the dying.
Yeah. What do you mean, what's this?
Fuck?
Spare the dying. That's a good spell.
What the hell is this? Gentle repose? I thought this was all about killing people and bringing the dead back. Wait a minute.
There's so much more going on in there.
Tell me about it.
That's why I was saying I feel like enchantments and stuff like that is much more of a taboo kind of school than this necromancy bullshit.
It can be.
It can be. This has all your resurrection spells in it. This is not
all of them.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware. This is the I'm gonna help my party kind of class, bring people back from the brink of death or from death. You got also.
I didn't know that.
I know. I mean, you think about it. It makes sense.
Revivify?
Right? Revivify, see? You got Resurrect is in here. If we're just on specific cantrips that I recommend you check out, Toll the Dead is great for clerics that need some sort of damagey spell at the beginning. You also got Spare the Dying, which can come in clutch if someone is dying and you got to spare them from death because you're not at a high enough level yet, or you're out of spell slots to, give them a quick cure wounds. This will heal them or stop them from dying for the time being until you can get over to them. Other staples, I recommend Chill Touch. Very nice. Weird that it's necromancy, but I guess it kind of makes sense.
Toll the Dead, underrated cantrip.
I already mentioned that one, but yeah. We got Inflict.
Mention it again.
Yeah, it deserves another mention. Inflict Wounds. Braxton already kind of touched on that one. That one is a very strong damage spell for first level.
See, these are the spells I've realized now where I'm like, okay, I don't want to mess with my cleric and get them on the bad side because they can heal me, but they can also kill me in probably one hit at this level.
A lot of these are cleric spells. Braxton makes a good point.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a cleric that's happy, go lucky, helping everybody in the party, and then boom, they just flip a switch and they're casting Ray of Enfeeblement on everybody. Sorry, they can't do that one. They're casting Ray of Sicknesses on it. Sorry, they can't do that one. They're casting Inflict Wounds on everybody. Damn.
There's a couple of Warlock exclusive and or Warlock kind of exclusive ones, like pseudo exclusive. There's one I use for a little bit, Shadow of Moyle. Definitely give that one a check out if you're an up and close and personal kind of Warlock. For a little bit, it is concentration, so be careful if you're relying on it to stay alive. Something that always interests me too is negative energy flood. I think it's just a big reverse damage / heal thing.
Yes. I love
a lot of cool stuff.
Dance Macabre, Ray.
One of those spells I've mentioned that I don't want to read because of the name is either so cool or creepy that I don't want anything to ruin it. Eye Bite.
Oh, I mean, it's kind of cool.
It doesn't sound
You've had
fancy.
That cast upon you. I'm 99%.
He casts on. You do it on yourself. The range is self.
Am I thinking of a different spell?
The spell's duration, your eye becomes an inky void imbued with dread power. One creature for choice. Asleep, panic, sickened. The target has disadvantage attack rolls. Target is frightened of you. You affect your eyes basically, and other people get scared of you. Interesting.
No, I'm thinking of a different spell then.
Thinking of a different spell? All right.
Yeah, the spell I was thinking of was a hag spell.
Tether Essence, man. Another wizard spell. Why do I have to do this?
Dude, these are all wizard. You get different stuff.
I don't get much, man.
So
Buff Warlocks 2021
is in here.
Wait, what?
Well, if you think about it, necromancy is the life and death, right? The astral plane is, kind of the plane between life and death, ish. But once you are able to get to astral projection, and granted, it's a 9th level spell, so you're already doing crazy stuff probably this level. But this is when, go back to our Astral Projection 101 episode.
That was a fun episode.
This is when you get in some really crazy fun adventures that go off into crazy nowhere land. So after the campaign's over, you finished off whatever the big bad is of your material plane, and you want to continue playing, let's cast this and go through some portals and see where we end up. Or, the DM's crazy enough, this is an important part of the campaign, and you got to go to some plane, but you don't know how to get there. Let's go into the astral plane and try to find the portal there.
You be careful. You got a little tether behind your butt. Big claw guy will come through in space and go.
Yeah, you don't want the dreadnought to come after you. That guy's scary.
You don't want the dreadnought. Do check out that episode. That was one of the episodes where I genuinely didn't know a lot about the topic, and you were telling me things, and I'm like, what is going on in this place? This is fucking ridiculous.
This is why we need a new book from Wizards of the Coast that covers the plane, because a lot of the information from those episodes came from 4th and 3rd edition books.
That's very true.
And I guess those books are still out there if people want to go read them, but it's not going to be the majority of people's first go-to. What else do you like, Braxton?
Time Ravage. You can kill a guy in 30 days by making them age super fast.
Yeah,
if they don't pass the save.
It's a wild mount spell.
God. Okay, this one isn't. True Resurrection.
Well, yeah, it's a true. So, if people don't know the resurrection spells, they basically just let you resurrect people at a longer time. So, like, Revivify, it has to be within like the last like 60 seconds or something like that. And it's a touch spell. Then you got, some of the other ones. Resurrection is one that has been dead for no more than a century. And you got True Resurrection, which means you just bring back anybody from the depths of hell for 200 years for any reason except for old age. These sort of spells are, in every cleric's back pocket.
Clone is weird that it's in here for me, but I guess it makes sense.
Does it?
I mean, you're creating new life.
Yeah.
Copying
You're manipulating life.
A vessel worth 2,000 gold points. You better be a rich motherfunster.
A lot. It's important. A lot of these also consume the materials that you have.
Yeah.
Because they're so powerful.
Give and take, man.
That's true.
It's kind of like transmutation.
There's a change of force there.
Manipulating exchange.
Physical properties. Something turns into something else. You got shape water in here. You got feather fall.
Shillelagh.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Shillelagh. Yeah.
One of my favorite.
Polymorph.
Ooh.
Polymorph is a very big staple, and I think it's a go-to for any wannabe wizard.
Honestly, I don't think there's been a campaign I've been a part of. There haven't been that many where somebody wasn't the biggest fan of polymorph.
Really?
I've been polymorphed into a toad for many rounds of combat before. Did you guys know that? If you're spoilers for Curse of Strahd, don't fuck with the hags. Don't do it.
Well, you don't know they're hags until it's too late. That's the point.
No. If you think they're hags, I'm telling you, if you're playing Curse of Strahd right now in that revamped, nice coffin-shaped book, you run into a hag, just keep your counterspell ready, unless you want to be a frog for many turns. Now, the saves are up to you. Just don't do it.
I actually don't know if I made that myself, because I'm looking at their stat block and I don't see polymorph in there, so I don't remember.
If so, just don't play in a game of Ryan's.
Oh, it's the Hag Coven stuff. That's why.
Okay, good. So we had to be there. There's a lot of stuff that I, again, didn't really know that they were in this sort of category.
But when you think about it makes sense.
Stuff, yeah. No, it absolutely does. It's just that kind of fringe difference between necromancy, evocation, and transmutation itself, where one is really just drawing off of pure magic to evoke something. One is working off of life to form and alter and heal and take. And then transmutation is working with what you have in terms of the physical sense and shape of something. Not really adding whatever. It's cool to me.
So tell me this, Braxton.
I will.
How does it make sense that sending, right? Sending is evocation. And for those that don't know, you can send up to 25 words to anybody that you know, as long as they're in the same plane. Message, which is a cantrip, and you just point to your finger towards a creature within 120 feet, is a transmutation spell.
I think it might lie in the components, because for message you need a short piece of copper wire.
Yes, you're speaking into the wire, and I guess that's sending it off. It's transmuting your words into sound waves that travel. I don't know.
That's what I would guess. Now, it would depend on sending, which I don't have in front of my face. You said it was an evocation spell. Let's dive deeper into this, because I think this is interesting. First, second, third, what level is that here?
Sorry, did I say?
Third level evocation spell. You also need a short piece of fine copper wire. It has to be thinner.
Yeah.
So, debunk my theory. I have no clue. At all. Do you have any idea?
I guess One can go unlimited range, right? Sending. Evocation, you're creating it and making it appear in someone else's brain. And then transmutation with message can only go 120 feet. You're turning your small little whisper into stronger airwaves that can reach all the way to your person that only they can hear.
Okay. This may be similar to what you just said. I just did a quick search, and it's
he's looking it up.
It's a very fresh, recent take.
Really?
2020, last year, I suppose, of April. Somebody said, I'll take a swing at this. Message. This is Spidey is my wingman on Reddit at D&D Next.
Spotty, is that his name?
Message. Spidey is my wingman. So he's not Spider-Man. This doesn't create any energy. You have to physically whisper into your hand to cast the spell. The spell transforms the vibration, causing the sound from your whisper into a psychic message. It changes one form into another. That's transmutation. Yeah. Sending. This physically creates energy, or message doesn't, because you cast without saying any words at all. When you cast the spell, you create a psychic message in your head and the target's head out of nothing. The creation of energy is evocation.
Problem with that, though, is sending is a somatic spell and a verbal spell. So you're still speaking something.
They're just wrong.
I mean, I guess you don't necessarily have to speak the message, right? You have to speak. No. You have to speak some ooba jabba dooba, and the spell is cast.
And to present a more cynical take, spell schools are to a significant degree arbitrary. Probably a good 50% of spells could be justifiably placed under at least 2 schools.
Maybe.
Nephesimian. Thank you for that. Hot. Saw Warlock. Somebody's last username said Warlock. I digress. Getting back into evocation stuff.
Alter Self is in here, and I guess, and this makes sense to me because while the ones we just read in
Transmutation,
in the Necromancy and the illusion stuff. Sorry, illusion, not Necromancy. In the illusion area was you're altering how you look, but you're not actually changing your body. While Alter Self, you actually alter your form.
Right.
So
these spells are kind of a mixture. If you want to think about Magic the Gathering too, these are a mixture of what would be artificery stuff. So like black and blue and kind of red artifacts, or green spells like spike growth, spider climb.
Okay. Yeah. I'm with you.
Thinking about that kind of stuff, Magic the Gathering is closely tied to D&D. They're made by the same people.
They have books and there's some D&D Magic books.
Dude, you got Fly and Haste.
Those are
in
huge.
Here as well.
Haste,
those are huge.
If you get someone that gets Twin Spell and puts it on somebody, and it puts
sounds like
it
you're
on
speaking from personal experience there.
Yeah, Sorcerer with Twin Spell, hasten 2 casters or 2, melee dudes, it can get crazy fast.
A Warlock with 3 melee attacks.
Yeah, this fun encounter you just prepared just falls apart.
I'm a helicopter straight through those motherfuckers, man. It's going to be really cool.
Skyrite's in here, and I think Skyrite is an underutilized spell just because how cool it is. Granted,
don't we have somebody that uses that?
I don't think so. So Skyrite allows you to change the clouds to write something in the sky. So you're like a blimp. That's whatever those planes that write stuff in the sky. It's cool, and I don't think I'd ever pick this spell over something else. I'd only do this if I, had every spell in the spell book, like a druid or something. But it is just a fun, kind of flavorful spell, personally.
Dude, you want to know what one of my favorites, which again is in Wildmount and is a wizard spell?
Sounds like you need to get Wildmount and become a wizard.
It sounds like I need to play a wizard that is from Wildmount. Temporal Shunt. Temporal Shunt's really cool. You pop somebody into a different location in time. It's like another chronology thing.
Yeah.
And then they pop back after a little bit. But that's like, where are you going to send them? What do they see there? How sick is that?
It's like, for any Doctor Who fans out there, it's like the Weeping Angels.
Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Who? I'm sorry, let's not do that. Subsequently, we have killed the podcast with that age-old joke that I brought in here.
My last favorite spells for transmutation, and I guess for D&D, period.
Wait, what?
Well, because this is our last school.
Okay, I thought you meant like, of all time, this is your favorite spell.
No,
I was confused.
Mending is in here, and it's often very forgotten. But I think if the DM presents an opportunity, for example, I'll give a perfect example of this. The players still learned of the information, so I'll preface that with this. But I had given them a book, a tome that had some wear and tear to it, and there was some pages that were destroyed, disintegrated. They couldn't read the material placed upon these pages. If someone had, in theory, had mending or casted mending upon this, then it would have fixed up the page and they could have read it. And they could have had some really juicy information. They still learned this information from a secondary source, but a DM presenting the options of mending can be very, very cool and very, very handy. Of course, it depends on if the DM cares enough to do this.
Dude, Tasha's otherworldly guys is spicy.
Tasha's a very strong lady. I'll say that.
She's very strong. So this was otherworldly form from Earth Arcana, and then it's essentially, if I wasn't a Hexblade, this is like a pocket Hexblade plus some resistances plus some bonus AC. It's concentration though, so there's some really cool stuff in here. I might. True polymorph, mass polymorph, dude. There's some memes that could happen with that. Transform a entire town into frogs. I might have a vendetta against people now. Turn them into frogs. God. Don't like a village. Pop in. Say, hey, you're now frogs. All of you. And then have a frog society. And they never, ever go back. Time stop. If you want to play Dio. Do you know who Dio is?
No.
You don't know who Dio is?
He's about to tell me, though.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I thought so. I thought so.
You should have jumped out on a limb, made the suggestion. It would have made me proud.
No, I don't have that spell on my spell list, man.
Dude, if we ever made an anime podcast, would you listen to it?
Yeah.
Damn.
I would see what I would do. I have to watch the show, the week that it's based on.
That's what we would do. Now, that would be a decent amount of effort. And what scares me is whenever you work on something you love, sometimes you can hate it. Hasn't happened with D&D yet for me. That's pretty good.
Well, speaking of hate, Braxton, you're a player, right? Generally speaking. Sometimes
sometimes I, get out there and meet some friends and, go on a little date or two. Okay, yeah. I play D&D. I play D&D.
So let's say you are in the middle of combat, right? And you have, 60 hit points, right?
Okay. It's been my health at this point.
It's been quite a fight. You're fighting some really scary wizard. And then he...
fuck wizards. No wonder I'm fighting them.
Yeah, I know, right? And this guy points his finger at you. Okay?
No.
Hang on. He points his finger at you.
I'm running.
And it's too late. No, the spell's been cast.
Shit.
No one is around to cast counterspell. And then you make a dexterity saving throw. Unfortunately, you get underneath a 17, which was their DC, and you take 70 points of force damage. You are immediately disintegrated.
Mm-hmm.
And you can only be brought with a true resurrection or a wish spell.
What spell is that?
This is disintegration. 6th level transmutation spell. You're turning life into nothing. That is a very, very brutal spell. There is no chance to bring this person back. So be very careful, DMs, or be very crazy with it, because it can get for some crazy stories, I'm sure.
That's not a low-level spell at all.
No, it's not. There are some pretty
How hard is a lodestone to obtain?
That's not that hard. And keep in mind, material spells can be foregoed if you have a thing to cast it.
I'm scared of Ryan's world in all sorts of ways. And this even scales.
There's some very scary creatures out there that have this in their spell list. And if you bark up the wrong tree, oh, brother.
Well, the whole psychology behind having a decent amount of hit points, which I'm sure some of our party members at 10th level have near or at this amount of health.
So you better hope they hit that DC.
If that. So you better hit that DC, which isn't super low. A dex save, which would be difficult for me, to be quite frank. And my psychology is I have 100 and whatever hit points. I've lost 30. I'm still pretty peachy. So this would definitely get
the benefit, though, if you save it, you don't take any damage.
Well, yeah. It's a do or die spell. It's the definition
basically,
It's a definition of it does something, or don't?
To me, if you want to use a power word death or something, this is the one you should use instead, because there's at least a save that happens, you know?
Yeah. For power word death, what's the difference there?
Powered kill, sorry, that was what we should be saying. Yeah, powered kill is a 9th level spell, and instead of any rolls or anything, if you have less than 100 hit points, you die. The nice thing is you can get resurrected, but with this one you can't. So there's some trade-offs.
Not gonna lie, disintegrate seems stronger than that.
It is, but it's also, I mean, it's more fun.
Yeah, there's more opportunity to have it not happen, but the end result is far worse.
Yes. The benefit of powered kill is there's no roll, period. You just point your finger and utter a word and the creature dies instantly.
Ryan, what's your favorite spell in all of D&D? Do you have one? Any? He's got a thinking face going on right now.
Favorite spell?
Yeah, be it as a villain you've used, an enemy you've put against us because you've been a player for a little bit, not too long. You have one?
That's a tough one. I mean, because there's lots of spells
Mm-hmm.
that I really enjoy. I don't know if I have. Do you have a favorite?
It's tough. I mean, there's definitely a pool, but one I've used probably the most, if we're going by that, is probably Misty Step.
Yeah.
I just enjoy, to me,
fun,
things
though.
I really love is teleportation and like lightning or chain spells, of which I don't have access to. But I love being able to, and this stems from my belief that being able to create portals anywhere is the best superpower you could have ever. Hands down, beats everything. So it's just like, if you can see a point and you can teleport within 30 feet, bop, it's there. I just love the utilization of that.
It's
So probably that one for me. You don't have one? I'll let you ruminate on it.
If I had to, you know, I mean, there's some that are powerful, but I don't love, you know?
Mhm. You can't find one. You don't have to. I'll let you think about it.
I'll say time stop is cool.
Time stop's cool.
You're stopping the flow of time, but
You need to watch. I can't say that.
the only problem with time stop that I have is that you're taking more turns and no one else is. That's not that's not fun.
Do you remember what I said about time stop?
Just now?
No. Earlier, I made a reference. You forgot, right?
It's about anime, right?
No.
Then I already did. Yeah, I forgot.
Okay, good. Whoo, boy. Oh, some of you know what I'm talking about right now. You got to be careful with things that you say.
Well, now I got to go back and I'm like,
no, please don't. If you ever consume this thing, don't do it.
Okay.
And I need you to not do it. Okay.
Well,
All right.
Braxton.
Yeah.
Ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it. I don't know what he's doing, by the way. I don't know what's going on. Oh my God. I have no dancing skills.
The
Please
news
don't.
with Braxton.
With Ryan. He's got the news. Do I have news? Is it the official announcement of that thing?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. The official. You guys remember that thing we talked about last week?
The rumors.
The rumors. I don't know where
Candlekeep Mysteries. We have a release date, March 26th.
2021.
Sorry, March 16th. My cursor was over the 1, looked like a 2. March 16th, 2021.
It looks nice.
Yeah, 17 mystery-themed adventures. So we were correct. It's kind of like a modular thing. Just a little brief descriptor of it. So that, you know, it's each is tied to a book discovered in a famed library fortress, which, I mean, lore-wise, it sounds really cool. Almost like you're picking up a book and you're teleporting inside of it. And they do say kind of what we were talking about last time is that they're very easy to run standalone mini adventures you can just drop into any home campaign, which is delicious. They say the adventures can span between levels 1 all the way to 16, which is very cool.
I will mention.
What's that, man?
Right now. So this is some odd hours, under 24 hours since I've mentioned this. It is currently $29.97 for pre-order on Amazon.
It is. That's a great price.
Base price is $50.
So if you have the cash, I would recommend going to a local game store and shelling out the cash for it, because A, you can get the cool alternative cover, which looks pretty dope.
Gosh, this thing is cool.
Looks pretty sick. Or if you don't have the cash, of course, never gonna force someone to do that, or make them feel bad for not going to a local game store, because money's tough to come by.
$30 on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, it's a good price. It's definitely a good price.
We will be covering this. We have sworn ourselves to buy everything that comes out and talk about it, unfortunately.
I think we should also do that with the third-party stuff. That could be good.
Yeah, that could be a lot of fun.
At least big releases.
Well, I mean, speaking of third-party stuff, Lord Loungelot, who I think for our 77th episode is going to come on and talk about Morborg.
This is Kenneth.
They just have a Kickstarter that came out, Morborg Cult Heretic. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, more rules-heavy / horror-focused, I'll learn more about it.
I know nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Kenneth literally asked us, do you want me to tell you about it now, or should I save it for the episode? I go, what do you think? And he goes, okay, let's save it for the episode. Every time he calls me now, he tries to tell me something about it. I'm like, Kenneth, look, you made a promise. You can't tell me a single. He's like, I'm not telling anything about it.
I mean, I've seen the artwork. It's a doom metal album cover. They even have an album, like a vinyl that you can buy, which Russell's My Jimmy's gets me excited. But I don't know how any of this ties into an RPG.
Me neither.
It looks.
He said
sick.
if it was a metal album put into an RPG.
Yes.
And by maybe not that time, but I know Kenneth may want to run a session or two of this for us. So maybe that'll come out at some point. I don't know.
Which, I was just going to say, last little bit of news, at least in our corner, our Dungeon Crawl Chronicles that we've been kind of talking about and amping up is in development. It's almost getting done. The artwork is kind of in its middle stages, I would say. We kind of got everything solidified, and we're just waiting for stuff to get back to us, and we're looking forward to it, man. It's going to be fun.
Whenever that's out, you better believe I got stuff ready to open from the floodgates. As soon as we're ready to record, we'll get out there.
It's going to be fun. I think we'll probably pump out the first couple episodes pretty quick. That way we can get back to recording, where we'll do it live. We'll post up the episodes afterwards. We'll start kind of getting into a rhythm, and that should be good fun.
Absolutely.
It's our live play, D&D, if you guys are not confused or dumb.
Which I'm DMing. Yay.
Yeah, I'm a player for the first time, really, like in a long-form campaign. Should be fun.
Mm-hmm. If you guys are also interested, both Ryan and I do stream on occasion. Currently, Ryan, I don't know if you've beaten Doom. Have you beaten?
No.
Ooh, have you beaten Doom yet?
If I had to guess, I'm about probably midway through it.
Okay. Yeah, so at twitch.tv/MELACIOUR. That's Melasior. You can watch him play some games over there. It's a good time. Great caster. And then I'm playing Chrono Trigger, which has been an absolute blast at the Twitch handle we mentioned before, NESUGIRU, Nesugiru.
We should add that to our all my links page or whatever the hell.
We definitely should. Something that we've got on that link page already right now is our Instagram, our Twitter. If you're interested in talking to us there, it is at Dungeon Crawl Pod. For both of those, if you want to connect with us more long form, a business offer, shoot the shit, old school communication, thedungeoncrawlpod@gmail.com.
Shit, yeah, dude.
Something that really rustles our jimmies in a good way, I would say. It's something that Ryan, I think, has an important message to share with you.
No, it's not Ryan, bro. It's Cool Ryan. I brought him in today.
Ryan. I forgot. I just wanted to keep it a secret. I didn't want to mention that you were here because now people are probably really hyped right now. I'm a little nervous actually to be talking to you. So just take it away.
Respect, bro. I appreciate you. So yeah, Cool Ryan's here to tell all you sick kids out there to make sure you go check out the Dungeon Crawl on Apple Podcasts. Head on over there and rate them 5 stars because that's the sick shit to do, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you don't tell your parents about it. And type something
really cool.
Yeah, get them to listen in, bro, but then it won't be as cool, so I don't know. But type it in. I love the Dungeon Crawl. Cool Ryan told me to say this. They love Cool Ryan. All right, I gotta go do some kick flips, bro. See you later.
Thanks, Cool Ryan.
Man, that guy was cool.
I'll send you your $100,000 check later.
Yeah. I'll hit him up.
Yeah, guys, go check that stuff out. We've been having an absolute blast doing this podcast over the past however long it's been. And
it's been a while now.
I'd say within a month, we'll be hitting a pretty cool milestone, and we'll probably mention it as it comes up. maybe seem insignificant to others, and we don't focus on numbers too much, but it shows that we're putting this thing out here without much publicity at all, and naturally people are coming to listen to us. And honestly, mentioning the handles for our social media or mentioning it for email or whatever is really because I want to start interacting with fans of tabletop RPGs and anybody who's listening to our stuff. So if you're looking forward to more of whatever the hell we make, or you want to talk with us directly too, one of the best ways as well is Discord, which you can find down in our link tree. So come and hang out.
Yeah, they just started doing some anime nights. So if you want to come watch some anime.
Every Friday, we're watching Attack on Titan, ReZero, Mushoku Tensei, which just came out. It's the father of all isekai, and there's some others in there. You can pop in, pop out as you please. So feel free to come hang out.
That's the Dungeon Crawl, man. I don't know what we're doing next week, but it's going to be something really, really good.
Really spicy.
So
it's cooking in the
tune
oven.
in for that.
And as always, he's been Ryan.
He's Braxton.
This is the Dungeon Crawl.
Oh, no, we pointed the right way. Wow.
I don't know. I point a direction, you edit and post. It's whatever. We figured it out. Happy birthday to us. Deuces.
Yeah, happy birthday, everybody.